Scene 1. Scrooge in his shop. The play begins amid a swirl of street life in Victorian London. Happy groups pass, brightly costumed carolers and families call out to one another and sing Joy to the World softly as the children talk. Bob Cratchit, a clerk who works in Scrooge's office, comes in. He takes some coal from the mound and puts it into a small bucket. Scrooge's nephew, Fred, enters, talks with the children, gives them coins, and sends them away with a Merry Christmas. A Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you. Bah! Humbug! Christmas is a humbug, Uncle? I hope that's meant as a joke. Well, it's not. Come, what is it you want? Don't waste all day, nephew. I only want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Uncle. Don't be cross. What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas! Out with Merry Christmas! What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money, a time for finding yourself a year older but not an hour richer? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stick of holly through his heart. Uncle! Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way, and let me keep it in mine. But you don't keep it. Then leave it alone, then. Much good it may do you. Much good it has ever done you. There are many things from which I might have found enjoyment by which I have not profited, I dare say, Christmas among the rest. And though it has never put a scrap of gold in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good, and I say God bless it. Bah! Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow. I'll dine alone, thank you. But why? Why? Why did you get married? Why, because I fell in love with a wonderful girl. And I fell in love with being alone. Good afternoon. Nay, uncle, but you never came to see me before I was married. Why give it as a reason for not coming now? Good afternoon. I am sorry with all of my heart to find you so determined, but I have made the attempt to honor Christmas, and I'll keep that good spirit to the last. So, a Merry Christmas, uncle. Good afternoon. And a Happy New Year. Good afternoon. Fred hesitates, as if to say something more. He sees that Scrooge has gone to get a book down from the shelf, and he starts to leave. As he leaves, the doorbell rings. Bells. Is it necessary to always have bells? The gentleman visitor enters, causing the doorbell to ring again. Cratchit! Yes, sir? The bell, fool! See to it! Yes, sir. He goes to the entrance, muttering, Merry Christmas! Wolves howling and a Merry Christmas! It's for you, sir. Of course it's for me. You're not receiving callers, are you? Show them in. Right this way, sir. The gentleman visitor approaches Scrooge. Yes? Yes? Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley? Marley's dead. 7 years tonight. What is it you want? I have no doubt that his kindness is well represented by his surviving partner. Here, sir, my card. He hands Scrooge his business card. Kindness! No doubt of it. All right, I can read. What is it you want? He returns to his work. At this festive season of the year, it's winter and it's cold. He continues his work and ignores the gentleman visitor. Yes, yes, it is, and the more reason for my visit. At this time of year, it is more than usually desirable to make some slight provisions for the poor and the penniless, who suffer greatly from the cold. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir. Are there no debtors' prisons? Many, sir. And the workhouse, is it still in operation? It is. Still, I wish I could say it was not. The poor law is still in full strength, then? Yes, sir. I'm glad to hear it. From what you said, I was afraid someone had stopped its operation. Under the impression that they barely provide Christian cheer of mind or body to many people, a few of us are hoping to raise fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We chose this time because it is the time of all others when want is strongly felt and abundance rejoices. May I put you down for something, sir? Nothing. You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, sir, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make lazy people merry. I help support the establishments I have mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are poorly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, then they had better do it and decrease the surplus population. That is not my affair. My business is. It occupies me constantly.
He talks both to the gentleman visitor and himself while he thumbs through his books.
Ask a man to give up life in means. Fine thing. What is it, I want to know? Charity? Damned charity.
His nose deep in his books, he vaguely hears the dinner bell being rung in the workhouse. He looks up as if he has heard it, but never focuses on the actual scene. The warder of the poorhouse stands in a pool of light at the far left, slowly ringing a bell.
Dinner! All right. Line up.
The poorly clad, dirty residents of the poorhouse line up and file by to get their evening dish of gruel, wordlessly accepting it and going back to eat listlessly in the gloom. Scrooge returns to the business of his office. The procession continues for a moment, then the image of the poorhouse is hidden by darkness. The dejected gentleman visitor exits.
Latch the door, Cratchit. Firmly, firmly. Draught as cold as Christmas blowing in here. Charity.
Suddenly, carolers appear on the platform, and a few phrases of their carol, Angels We Have Heard on High, are heard. Scrooge looks up.
Cratchit!
As soon as Scrooge shouts, the carolers vanish and Cratchit begins to close up shop.
Cratchit!
Yes, sir?
Well, to work then.
It's evening, sir.
Is it?
Christmas evening, sir.
Oh, you'll want all day off tomorrow, I suppose.
If it's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to deduct half a crown from your salary for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, wouldn't you? Still, you expect me to pay a day's wage for a day of no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
Be here all the earlier the next morning.
I will, sir.
Then off. Off.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, sir.
Bah!
As soon as Cratchit opens the door, the sounds of the street begin, very bright and loud. Cratchit is caught up in a swell of people hurrying down the street. Children pull him along to the top of an ice slide, and he runs and slides down it, disappearing in darkness as the stage suddenly is left almost empty. Scrooge goes around the room, blowing out candles, talking to himself.
Christmas Eve. Carolers. Bah! There. Another day.
He opens his door and peers out.
Black. Very black. Now, where are they?
The children are heard singing carols for a moment.
Begging pennies for their songs, are they? Oh, boy.
Scene 2. Scrooge goes home.
Hold it quiet. There. Off now. That's it. Hi. Black as pitch. The house of Ebenezer Scrooge. Yes, here's the key.
He turns the key toward the door, and the face of Jacob Marley, Scrooge's deceased business partner, swims out of the darkness. Scrooge watches, unable to speak. He fumbles for a match, lights the lantern, and swings it toward the figure, which melts away. Pause. Scrooge fits the key in the lock and turns it as the door suddenly is opened from the inside by the porter, Sparsit. Scrooge is startled, then recovers.
Sparsit?
Yes, sir?
Hurry, hurry! The door! Close it!
Did you knock, sir?
Knock? What the matter? Here, light me up the stairs.
Yes, sir. He leads Scrooge up the stairs. They pass the cook on the way. Scrooge brushes by here, stops, looks back, and leans toward him. Something to warm you, sir?
Porridge? What? No, no, nothing.
Waiting for her Christmas coin.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Scrooge ignores the request, and the cook disappears. Mumbling, Scrooge follows Sparsit. Looking back after the cook is gone.
Fright a man nearly out of his life. Merry Christmas. Bah!
Your room, sir.
Oh, yes, yes, and good night.
Extending his hand for his coin.
Merry Christmas, sir. Yes, yes.
He sees the outstretched hand. He knows what Sparsit wants and is infuriated.
Out! Out!
He closes the door after Sparsit, turns toward his chamber, and discovers the chairwoman, a woman hired to do cleaning, directly behind him. "Warm your bed for you, sir."
What? Out! Out!
"Aye, sir." She starts for the door. Marley's voice is heard mumbling something unintelligible.
What's that?
"Me, sir? Not a thing, sir."
Then good night.
"Good night." She exits, and Scrooge pantomimes, shutting the door behind her. The voice of Marley, over an offstage microphone, whispers and reverberates,
Merry Christmas, Scrooge.
Silence. Scrooge hears the voice, but cannot account for it. He climbs up to open a window and looks down. A cathedral choir singing "O Come All Ye Faithful" is heard in the distance. Scrooge listens a moment, shuts the window, and prepares for bed. As soon as he has shut the sound out of his room, figures appear. They seem to be coming down the main aisle of a church, bearing gifts to the living nursery. The orchestra plays "O Come All Ye Faithful" as the procession files out. Scrooge, ready for bed, warms himself before the heap of coals. As he pulls his nightcap from a chair, a small handbell tumbles off onto the floor. Startled, he picks it up and rings it for reassurance. An echo answers it. Scrooge escapes to his bed. The bell sounds grow to a din, incoherent as in a dream, then suddenly fall silent. Scrooge sits up in bed, listens, hears the chains of Marley coming up the stairs. Scrooge reaches for the bell pull to summon Sparsit. The bell responds with a gong, and Marley appears. He and Scrooge face one another.
What do you want with me?
In a ghostly, unreal voice.
Much. Who are you?
Ask who I was.
Who were you?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
He's dead.
7 years this night, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Why do you come here?
I must. It is commanded me. I must wander the world and see what I can no longer share, what I would not share when I walked where you do.
And must go thus?
The chain? Look at it, Ebenezer. Study it. Locks and vaults and golden coins. I forged it, each link, each day, when I sat in these chairs, commanded these rooms. Greed, Ebenezer Scrooge. Wealth. Feel them. Know them. Yours was as heavy as this I wear 7 years ago, and you have labored to build it since.
If you're here to lecture, I have no time for it. It is late. The night is cold. I want comfort now.
I have none to give. I know not how you see me this night. I did not ask it. I have sat invisible beside you many and many a day. I am commanded to bring you a chance, Ebenezer. Heed it.
Quickly, then. Quickly.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance?
Mark it.
I do not choose to.
Ominously. Then you will walk where I do, burdened by your riches, your greed.
Spirits mean nothing to me.
Slowly leaving. Expect the first tomorrow, when the bell tolls 1, the second the next night at the same hour, and the third upon the next night, when the last stroke of 12 has ended. Look to see me no more. I must wander. Look that...
Jacob, don't leave me! Jacob! Jacob!
Goodbye, Ebenezer. At Marley's last words, a funeral procession begins to move across the stage. A boy walks in front. A priest follows, swinging a censer. Sounds of mourning and a suggestion of church music are heard. Scrooge calls out,
Jacob, don't leave me!
as if talking in the midst of a bad dream. Scrooge pulls shut the bed curtains. The bell sounds are picked up. The clock begins to chime, ringing the hours. Scrooge sits up in bed and begins to count the chimes.
8, 9, 10, 11. It can't be. 12. Midnight? No, Not 12. It can't be. I haven't slept the whole day through. 12? Yes, yes, 12 noon.
He hurries to the window and looks out.
Black. 12 midnight.
Pause.
I must get up. A day wasted. I must get down to the office.
2 small chimes are heard.
Quarter past. But it just rang 12. 15 minutes haven't gone past. Not so quickly.
Again 2 small chimes are heard.
A quarter to 1. The spirit. It's to come at 1.
He hurries to his bed as the chimes ring again.
1.